I remember being 9 years old, getting my hands on a Nintendo Wii, enjoying Wii Sports because it came with a console. Then for Christmas that year, I got to play what I would find to be the greatest racing game to have ever existed, Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii was iconic, becoming the second best selling game in Wii history. Even then, that can be debated, purely on the fact that Wii Sports was bundled with the console when you bought it. The effort and detail put into this game for the time it was released still makes it hold up to this day. Mario Kart Wii was more than just a racing game. It was a shared experience that brought people together in a way few games could. The motion controls made it accessible for everyone, from kids to grandparents, while still offering plenty for the competitive players to really sink their teeth into. With its diverse cast of characters and memorable tracks, it created countless hours of fun. Even years after the official servers were shut down in 2014, the dedicated fanbase refused to let the game die, creating custom servers and content to keep the spirit of Mario Kart Wii alive. But how did this game come to be? For that, we had to go to the beginning. The development of Mario Kart Wii was a significant undertaking, building on the success of its predecessors while introducing new features and mechanics. The Mario Kart franchise has already established itself as a fan favorite, starting with Super Mario Kart on the SNES in 1992. Each subsequent title, including Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash, and Mario Kart DS, brought innovations such as 3D graphics, unique co-op mechanics, and portable gameplay. With Mario Kart Wii, Nintendo not only wanted to keep the core formula intact, but also utilized the Wii's motion controls to offer a fresh racing experience. One of the most defining aspects of Mario Kart Wii's development was the decision to incorporate the Wii's motion controls, allowing players to steer by tilting the controller. This represented a major shift in how the series was played and required the development team to fine-tune the sensitivity to strike a balance between accessibility for casual players and precision for experienced gamers. To cater to different playstyles, the game supported multiple control schemes, including the Wii Wheel, nunchuck, and even the GameCube controller. In addition to the new controls, this was the first Mario Kart to introduce motorcycles alongside traditional karts. The developers had to carefully balance between the new vehicles and the existing karts, ensuring that both types offered unique advantages without one dominating the other. The inclusion of motion captured trick animations and boost mechanics also enhanced the racing experience, adding depth to the gameplay that went beyond previous titles. Track design was also a focal point, with the game featuring 16 new tracks and 16 retro tracks from earlier entries. The team worked to incorporate features like trick ramps and interactive elements, while maintaining the classic chaos that the series was known for. Additionally, the multiplayer aspect of Mario Kart Wii saw a major leap forward with online play. Leveraging the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, the game allowed up to 12 players to race online, a first in the franchise. The development team faced the challenge of creating a stable and engaging online experience. And while not without its limitations, the inclusion of online multiplayer was a groundbreaking step for the series. Mario Kart Wii also boasted a large and diverse character roster, drawing from across the Mario universe. Balancing the characters and vehicles to ensure fair competition was a meticulous process, and the developers implemented an advanced physics system to manage different weight classes and vehicle handling. This balancing act was crucial to delivering the fun yet competitive races that have become a hallmark of the series. The game's legacy, despite the shutdown of the official servers in 2014, continued to thrive, with dedicated fan communities keeping the game alive through unofficial online servers like WeeMfi. With this, Mario Kart Wii stands as a prime example of how innovation combined with the beloved core mechanics from earlier titles created a timeless gaming experience. Even today, the game holds up remarkably well, a testament to the efforts of its development team and the lasting appeal of the Mario Kart franchise. Speaking of races, Mario Kart Wii would introduce us to one of the greatest track lineups in Mario Kart history. Race courses are divided into various cups again: Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, Special Cup for the new courses, and Shell Cup, Banana Cup, Leaf Cup, and Lightning Cup for the returning courses. Notably, these are the same as in Mario Kart DS. When I'm talking about my favorite Mario Kart Wii original track from each cup, for Mushroom Cup it has to be Toad Factory. It's one of the greatest tracks out there, especially with that song that makes me feel like I'm dancing in an 80s sitcom. One thing I didn't like about the tracks was the boxes because they always got in the way, but the conveyor belts helped me a lot. For the Flower Cup, it has
You just got coconut mold. Share this with all your friends to totally coconut mold them.
God fucking damn it. All joking aside, Coconut Mall is the greatest track in Mario Kart Wii, and it's not even debatable. It has the best track layout, the soundtrack is outstanding for it, and the fact that you can go on multiple levels is something that was really introduced in Mario Kart Wii but perfected by Coconut Mall. Next, for Star Cup, I have to say Koopa Cape. Driving on a waterfall was also really cool. It was definitely not the strongest out of the 4 cups, just because there weren't really many options, but the multiple levels going underwater and the underrated track design was actually one of my favorites and why I chose it. And then you had Rainbow Road. In my opinion, this is the best Rainbow Road ever, and other than the fact that you fell off multiple times every single time. Overall, it's what Rainbow Road is supposed to be like. chaos driven, no barriers, and nothing but frustration between your friends. Many of the nostalgic tracks from the other cups were actually inspired by or directly taken from previous Mario Kart games. Some of my favorites were Peach Beach, originally in Mario Kart Double Dash. I just love the layout of the track, and the ducks waddling around were always so frustrating to drive around. Next is Yoshi Falls. As someone who played Nintendo DS Mario Kart for the longest time, this is by far my favorite track over there, and I'm so glad they implemented it into Mario Kart Wii. Next is Delfino Square, the greatest track in Nintendo DS history, and they included it in Mario Kart Wii, and it's so good. Everything about it is just mwah. Chef's kiss. Next, we have Waluigi Stadium, originally from Mario Kart Double Dash, and I was very surprised that it made its return into Mario Kart Wii. But it was actually great, and the way they did the layout was absolutely outstanding. DK Mountain was also a personal favorite of mine from Mario Kart Double Dash, and I'm so glad they brought it to the Wii, because in my opinion, the track layout for DK Mountain is one of the best in all of Mario Kart, not only Mario Kart Wii. And Bowser's Castle from Nintendo 64 was really cool to see modernized, and it didn't feel boring, kind of like the Nintendo 64 version. Mario Kart Wii's tracks are often seen as the best in the series because they perfectly blend nostalgia with fresh ideas. The game offers a variety of themes, from the lively Coconut Mall to the thrilling DK Mountain. This made Mario Kart a standout because of how amazing the tracks were. Then you had the other two modes like Balloon Battle and Coin Runners, and for the maps they were on, they were actually pretty fun. I was more of a fan of the retro maps more than the regular maps, but overall it was actually a pretty good time, especially with the controls forcing you to make tight turns to avoid items every single time. And then you had Mario Kart Wii's online mode, where it worked in a ranking system, but you can play standard races, you can do battles, and you can also do tournaments online. The online mode also included leaderboards and rankings, allowing players to see how they stack up against other players worldwide. Players can track their progress, check their best times, and compare their performances with friends or even the top players in the world. Most of this stuff was centered around the Mario Kart channel, and it proved as a central hub for accessing and managing different features online. One of them being online rankings, to where you can view the global rankings and see how you rank compared to players around the world. Then you had updates and news, where Mario Kart would actually post most of its updates, which was actually pretty cool, especially special events. And then it had stat tracking, where it can review detailed stats on your performance in racing battle. And this included tracking your best times, win rates, and other metrics. And people can participate in community events, view user-generated content, and interact with other players. The channel connects players in the broader Mario Kart community, and it actually brought a lot of people together. But what is keeping this game alive to this day? Well, it would actually be the world record / speedrun community on Mario Kart Wii. The world record scene in Mario Kart Wii is a vibrant and competitive aspect of the game, and it showcased some of the highest levels of skill and strategy that are still implied to this day by popular gamers. And there's a closer look on how it operates and what makes it so fascinating. One is obviously the world records that people continuously break, and it's outstanding that they're still finding ways to this day to make time trials shorter and shorter to get the best record. One thing that helps with that is the ghost data, and people can race against the ghost data in the time trials, which are recordings of the fastest lap times by other players, including the world record holders. These ghosts provide a benchmark and a guide for players looking to improve their own times and overall trying to get the world record. By observing and racing against these ghosts, players can identify areas where they can improve their performance and develop strategies for beating existing records and somehow making them shorter. There's also the fact that the Mario Kart Wii community has dedicated a group of players who focus on breaking world records and have a community and leaderboards behind it. This community shares strategies, video guides, and tips to help other players improve. Websites and forums dedicated to Mario Kart Wii often feature leaderboards that display the top times for each track, including world records. It's insane because it not only helps the competitive aspect, and overall it could also help inexperienced players getting back into Mario Kart Wii. Setting these world records often involved mastering advanced techniques and exploiting game mechanics. This includes perfect drift boosting, using item strategies effectively, and executing precise track shortcuts that may even glitch the game. Speedrunners and top players often discover new techniques or optimize routes that can shave off critical milliseconds from their times. And with the continual evolution of these speedruns, the world record scene is dynamic and constantly evolving. New strategies and techniques are developed over time, pushing boundaries of what's possible. As players refine their skills and discover new methods, records are regularly broken, creating a constantly shifting landscape of top times and achievements. The world record community is also known for its relentless pursuit of optimization, leading to the discovery of hidden or less obvious shortcuts on various tracks. For instance, players have found ways to bypass lengthy sections of tracks or take alternative routes to shave off significant seconds from their lap times. These shortcuts often involve precise maneuvers like jumping over barriers or using boost pads in unconventional ways, which require expert timing and control, and like I said, breaking the game. And this brings up the revelation of ultra shortcuts. Ultra shortcuts in Mario Kart Wii are some of the most mind-blowing tricks in the game, allowing players to cut down lap times by skipping huge portions of the track. These shortcuts often involve mastering complex techniques or exploiting glitches by bypassing barriers and obstacles that are normally part of the course. Players can use specific jumps and boosts to avoid large sections of the track, while on Rainbow Road, clever use of jumps lets players skip major segments. The process requires exceptional skill, precise timing, and a deep understanding of the game's mechanics. often pushing players to achieve record-breaking times. The Mario Kart community thrives on discovering and refining these ultra shortcuts, constantly evolving the competitive landscape and showcasing just how inventive and dedicated these players can be. To this day. I do want to give a shout out to Summoning Salt because I have been watching his videos on the world record scene in Mario Kart, but the ultra shortcut video was something that I thought was a really good watch, so I'm going to link it below. Make sure you guys check it out. Mario Kart Wii isn't just a standout in the Mario Kart series, as many people consider it one of the best racing games ever. Its charm comes from how it mixes accessibility with depth. The vibrant graphics, inventive tracks, and a huge roster of characters and karts make it incredibly fun and engaging. The addition of online multiplayer was a game changer, letting you race against your friends or players from around the world, and even adding a ranking system, something that wasn't thought of in racing games. Whether you're casual and you're going through a nostalgia track, or trying to beat a world record on a new track, it's just as exciting either way. What really makes Mario Kart Wii special is how it strikes the perfect balance between skill and luck. It's easy for newcomers to pick up, but mastering those power slides and item checks kept every single seasoned player hooked. With the best soundtrack in Mario Kart history, beloved characters, and those unforgettable races, it's no wonder Mario Kart Wii is such a lasting appeal. It's not just a top Mario Kart game, it's a racing classic that continues to captivate players of all ages, making it one of the best racing games of all time. To this day, I firmly believe Mario Kart Wii is the greatest racing game of all time. Not just because of my nostalgic and my personal bias, but just because of the amount of racing games that we've seen throughout the history of video games, and how this one compares with the amount of depth and the amount of competition that is in this, and how different aspects can be controlled, and how somehow it's still popular to this day. I don't think anything beats it. And it honestly has some of the most iconic racetracks I think we've ever seen, with Coconut Mall being especially one of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video talking about how Mario Kart Wii became iconic. If you guys did like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.